much for joining us. My name is Chandra Davis. I am a brand manager on the Verissimo brand at Starbucks. So we're really excited to share this preview of our new Verissimo system with you, which we will be launching this holiday across a lot of different retailers and in our Starbucks stores. So I'm sure you guys have seen in the marketplace the explosion of the single serve category. So what we've been seeing is over the last year, from 2011 to today, the category has grown by 40%. And then in 2013, we expect that to continue to grow by 25 to 30% more. So it's continuing to expand. But what's interesting with all of that growth, 75% of Starbucks loyalists still don't own a single serve platform. So we've been trying to talk to our consumers about the reason for that. And what we're hearing is there's two big drivers. First, there's the quality and cup. That quality that they expect when they come into a Starbucks store, they're not getting that out of a single serve machine today because most of those single serve machines also don't provide that breadth of drinks, right? You can get a great coffee out of one machine, you can get a great espresso out of another machine, but there's not any machine that does both of those things really well. So that's why we're excited about the Verissimo system, because it does a great shot of espresso, it does a really authentic cafe latte, and it also does a great cup of brewed coffee. So it does all three things out of one machine. And what I'm going to do over the next couple minutes is show you how we make all of those things. And then we're going to send you out to the front room where you get to play with the machine and make whatever drink you'd like. Does that work? Mm-hmm. Cool? All right. So we're going to start with the espresso. As you know, espresso and coffee is the core of who we are as Starbucks. So our espresso pods are the same coffee that you'll find in our Starbucks stores. So 100% Arabica coffee, same roast, the espresso roast that you find in our cafes. So what you do is just put in the espresso pod and then press the top button to brew the espresso. Now the trick to getting a great cup of, or a great shot of espresso, I should say, is a high pressure machine. This is a 19 bar pressure machine, which will give you a great shot of espresso. The way you know that it's a great shot of espresso is by the layers that you create in the espresso itself. So you see the beautiful crema on top. At the bottom, that dark layer that's forming, that's called the heart of the espresso shot. And then this middle portion, that's called the body. So the fact that you can see all three of those layers through a shot that's pulled out of this machine shows you how high quality of a shot you're getting. The coffee department has also tasted this against the shot that comes out of our Mastrena machine. And as they do a flavor comparison against the two, the flavor markers in this espresso shot are spot on versus the espresso shot that comes out of our Mastrena machine in the cafes. So we've been able to get a great espresso shot similar to our cafes out of this machine, which we're really excited about. So next, we're going to do the cafe latte. The latte, as you know, the core of the latte is the espresso shot, so you've seen that. But the other really important piece is the milk. So the milk that we use is out of a milk pod. We've partnered with a company called Kruger. Kruger is one of the largest dairy manufacturers in Europe, and they have this really gentle drying technology that gives you a really fine milk powder. That milk powder has no additives, no preservatives, it's 100% natural. So that natural milk and 100% dairy pod, you put that in the machine, and then you press the bottom button. The two tricks of getting great milk is first the ingredients, which we just talked about, and second is the temperature that you brew it at. A lot of machines that do milk end up having sort of that burnt, almost sugary note to it. The reason that this milk won't have that is we reduce the temperature that the milk brews at. So the milk actually brews at a different temperature than we extract the coffee and the espresso at, in order to make sure you don't get that burnt smell to it. So what I'm going to do is actually have you guys smell the milk. I know.
It smells vanilla.
Yeah,
It
it's
smells
not
like
warm milk and not like
Nice.
So if you brew a couple of pods of this milk, grab a Starbucks hot cocoa packet and dump that in. We've got Starbucks salted caramel, we've got peppermint.
Wow.
You can make a hot cocoa really easily with this as well. But right now we're going to make a latte. So you've got the milk, and now you just need to add the espresso. So you pop in the espresso pod, close the lever, and then press the button. Now the reason nothing's happening is because the machine block is warming back up to that temperature it needs to be at in order to extract the espresso shot. So it only takes about 5 seconds, and then you press the button again.
And how fabulous are those cups?
I know, it's a great cup, right? So if you look over here, that is the cup that will
cup that's
actually be,
coming.
that will actually be selling in our Starbucks stores.
Is it insulated?
It's
It's
very
like
similar
lungs.
to this, it's just a little bit different shaped. Yep. So you can see the gorgeous cafe latte. But what we're really excited about is that awesome layer of foam at the top, exactly like you would expect when you walk out of a Starbucks store. Cool? All right, so we've done the latte and we've done the espresso shot. The next trick is to do the coffee. What's challenging about doing coffee on a high pressure machine is coffee is supposed to brew at lower bars of pressure. So with a 15 bar machine, it's really hard to get a really high quality cup of coffee. It usually ends up tasting like an Americano. It's like a richer, thicker flavor instead, right? So the way that we've gotten around that is our coffee department has worked on an innovation on the pod itself to release the pressure as the coffee brews. So the amount of pressure that builds in this pod is much, much lower than what's in the machine itself. So this will brew at 5 bars of pressure versus this being a 19 bar pressure machine. So you slip the pod in and you press the middle button. Now, if you remember when we were doing our espresso shot, when you first saw it, it looked really creamy, right? As soon as it was coming out. Here, you're seeing that it's a really clean cup of coffee from the very beginning. There's no crema on top. And all you see is bubbles around the edges, which you should see for a great cup